All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaheen Manjezi. For those of you who are new to the channel, I talk about manifestation and just kind of maintaining your state of being so that your state of being is in alignment with everything that you desire in life so that you can love more, you can give more, you can live life more deeply and fully. So today I want to share with you guys a sort of this rule that I have started to consciously live by, and the rule is to never go to bed angry. Um, this is something that I've been focusing more and more on lately, um, and I want to share with you guys a little story that happened to me this past week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there. Um, and how I actually was able to turn something that I perceived as negative into something positive before going to bed. So essentially, let me just get into the story. So basically, the story is my friend and I have been going to an open mic where you perform music or whatever you want to perform. We've been going to an open mic for the past couple months. And well, he's been going for longer, but he invited me to come a couple months ago, and it's just a great place to come and meet people, meet fellow artists, musicians, and people like that. And for my first performance, a couple months ago, I performed a song that I wrote, and I felt like I did a great job, and people were coming up to me after the performance and giving me very positive feedback of how much they loved the song and how beautiful they thought the song was. And it felt really good. And, the past month or so, I've been very busy, just doing a lot of different things. And the open mic was coming up, and I didn't really have that much time to practice. But, I had a song in the back of my mind that I wanted to perform, and I practiced it a couple times, but I didn't really feel that confident about it, and I sort of wasn't really being conscious of my self talk in my head, and I kind of had started thinking these thoughts of like, I don't really have the rhythm. I don't know if I'm gonna have the rhythm down, by the time I get up on stage, and I kind of kept thinking that over and over again. So finally, the day of the open mic comes, and I get up on stage, and I'm not really feeling nervous or anything, but the guitar that I was performing with, it was my friend's guitar, um, who was also at the open mic. There was a weird signal coming into it out of the amp when I plugged it in. So the sound engineer who was there was like, "Oh, just use another guitar that we have." Long story short, I used the other guitar. The tone was kind of off. I start playing the song, and lo and behold, I just completely lost with the song. I was completely lost on stage. I was playing like the wrong chord progression, changing the chords at the wrong time. And it was just a completely botched performance. I think I cut the song off early because I was just like, I'm completely lost up here. I'm just done. And for a musician, that's just not something I've never experienced that before. It was the first time I consider myself a pretty adequate musician. If you give me a song, I can learn it, I can go perform it. But something happened that night. And the funny thing is, I had another performance with another band coming up the day after. Okay. And this was a big performance for us because we're performing at a local establishment, and this was kind of our first performance, going to be our first performance there. So the owner said, if you guys are good, we like you guys, we're going to keep you and have you do a sort of like residency deal where you guys are going to come back, and we're going to pay you a good amount of money, and every time you perform, and if things go well, you'll we'll kind of have a good business connection going on with the music and the venue and the establishment. So that was gonna happen the day after the open mic. So anyway, let's go back to the night of the open mic. Completely botched performance. I'm just feeling really down on myself. I get off the stage and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was just not good. That's not a good performance. And but nonetheless, the main reason I go to that open mic is to, mingle with people and just spend time with other people, have connections and network and stuff like that. So I still did that, and I still ended up having a really nice time at the open mic afterwards anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But, on the drive home and later that night, I'm in bed, ready to go to bed, and I'm thinking, I noticed that these thoughts of like just negativity are just flooding my head, like, oh my gosh, everyone probably thinks I'm so stupid. I botched that song. That was such a bad representation of my musicianship, and people are probably not going to take my music seriously. These types of thoughts started entering my mind, and I started having doubts about the next day's performance. Like, oh, what if I do this tomorrow? So, then there came the moment of awareness where I was like, okay, what am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? I'm literally just manifesting more. I'm going to manifest more of this if I go to sleep in this state. So luckily I became conscious before I went to bed. And I told myself right there, while I was laying in bed, I am not going to go to sleep until I feel good about this situation. I am not going to go to sleep until I feel good in the situation, until I find the good in the situation, until I can sort of take what just happened tonight and give it a meaning so that I feel empowered. And that's exactly what I did. Then a different sort of thoughts started running through my head. I started thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe this was supposed to happen like this, and this is a part of my divine plan as a musical artist. Maybe this was a sign that if I get up on stage, if I'm going to go up and perform, I should never half-ass my performance, because that's kind of what I did. I didn't really practice enough. And if I'm going to go up on the stage, I'm going to perform with my entire soul, with my heart. I'm going to give it everything I have, because ultimately when I perform, I'm performing to make other people in the crowd or the audience or whoever is listening, I want them to feel something. Whether it's I want them to feel good, or I just want them to feel alive. It's what other people feel it's just gonna be a reflection of how I feel. And so I sort of relabeled that experience that had happened at the open mic, the performance, as a sort of wake-up call. And I was like, you know what, this was meant to happen so that come tomorrow's show, I'm going to play with my full heart, my full soul. I'm going to be so well rehearsed. I'm going to give it my all. And this experience is actually fuel. It's kind of like this quantum leap experience that happened to me so that I can go into tomorrow's performance and put everything that I have inside of me out on the stage. And with that mindset, I felt so empowered, I felt so invigorated, I felt so good that I fell asleep in that state. Okay? The next day rolls around, and I'm just feeling so good, so confident, so excited for the performance, and I absolutely kill it. You know, I in a good way. Like I did exactly what I said I was going to do, which was I used that previous night's performance as fuel. I put everything I had on the stage, um and I got to showcase all my talents, all my abilities. I played with all my heart and soul. I left it all out there. And the response from the people who were there at that performance was they were just so over the top, blown away by what I had shared with them. And, I was getting messages the next day after that performance of what an incredible time the people in the crowd had, and they were thanking me for the performance and inviting them to the show, and just seeing how I had brought all these people together at the show and gave them such a good time. It just made me feel even better, that night, the night after. And now I'm kind of on this upward spiral. So the lesson here is never go to bed feeling bad. Never go to bed feeling angry. And this is sort of something that I practice now. I tell myself, like, I'm not going to go to bed until I feel good. I feel happy. I feel at peace. I feel empowered. I'm not going to go into bed until I feel that. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys that story, just a reminder. Don't go to bed feeling mad or sad about anything, you always have the power to choose how you interpret things and the meaning that you give to things, which is, something I want to make a completely different video on. But yeah, I think if you live by that rule alone, never go to bed angry, you're going to be doing yourself a great service to maintaining a positive state of being and attitude throughout your day and manifesting your deepest desires. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.